Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do new relations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, until next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. Alright, hello, and welcome to the return of one specific series here, because we finally back. We are back. So let's get started then. This is The Only Option Left. Chapter 1, Settling In. Planning was important, so the furniture they selected weeks prior would arrive together on the day they move in. Boxes were shattered amongst the newly refurbished townhouse in the redeveloped part of the city, and the girls were too exhausted from the moves to do much more than insert the larger items were placed in the desired locations. Thankfully, Max marked the boxes with a black Sharpie indicating which room each one belonged in, so at least they would have a good start when they decided to unpack. Having lived with the Caulfields for as long as they did, it was surprising how much stuff they collected. The Upsil's bedroom had been cluttered and jam-packed with wedding gifts, baby shower gifts, and other miscellaneous items they couldn't use until they had a place of their own. A middle-aged developer purchased property around the center blocks of the town trail to rejuvenate the once booming district where she spent many years in her youth. To the economic housing disaster of 2008, the forced closures and bankruptcies polluted the inner city community. She wanted to give back and help the town return to its former glory. It was a self-full housing project that landed a very affordable upscale townhome in Madison Cooley's lap. They discovered the small community during an M3 photo shoot in which the married couple fell in love with the tiny area almost immediately. It wasn't until the festival began over the weekend that they recognized they had been there before, in a way. It wasn't uncommon for the mother and daughter duo to let the taller woman sleep late. Max, on the other hand, enjoyed watching the sun peak above the horizons while sipping her morning breakfast. The first light of dawn helped set the brunette's mood and offered a peaceful and relaxing moment before jumping into whatever adventure the day would hold. The girls enjoyed a casual lifestyle and only occasionally had to get up and hustle to a photo shoot early in the morning. Some days, the photographer would edit photos or work on her blog while the little girl played and Chloe slept. The computer hadn't been set up, however, so boring was out of the question the first morning. Upon waking, Mouse poured Destiny a bowl of servantess and enjoyed a cup of coffee. After turning 2, the young girl decided her favorite type of food was cereal, and she could eat her weight in the sugary mixture. She would eat it for every meal if her moms would allow her. The day was beginning in a typical fashion with 2 girls awake, the others still fast asleep. Max knew today wasn't just any day, however. The future had caught up with them. The dream space fizzing, they looked so hard the trains had arrived in the present. After breakfast, Max opened the container marked Fave Toys and set up a spot between the living room and kitchen for Destiny to safely play. So he began opening other boxes and placing kitchen items like silverware and pots and pans and cabinets and drawers. So he loved the multi hardwood floors and cream-colored walls, which were a big part of the reason they chose the place. The floorboards and the trim marks the crowd molding, and the photographer loved every square foot of the new house. Matt spent an hour or so rinsing and drying the unpacked dishes to ensure their cleanliness before putting them away. As the last set of cookware was being washed, the brunette felt two arms shredded around her waist on both sides and squeezed almost too snugly. Her partner's warmth, beginning from her back, radiated outward and through her body, drawing an enjoying smile from the younger of the two. The sound of a deep sniff in her hair and a kiss on top of her head was followed by a raspy voice that still made her heart flutter any time she heard it. "Morning, love. You smell amazing today. How's your sleep?" She turned to face the recently awoken blonde, grabbing her by the hips and aligning the perfectly clear sapphire eyes. "I always sleep well beside you, babe, but you were out. I mean, out. Haven't you snored like that in a while?" Mouse tilted her head upward and pecked her favorite person on the lips, then quickly turned back to the sink. "Whoa, Massy Mass," Kosey began, as he pecked her legs back into her chest. "Is everything all right?" "Why wouldn't things be all right?" The brunette turned her head to the side and saw at the floor. The older girl squinted and craned her head forward after tenderly grabbing her partner's chin, pulling it back up towards her face. "Really, dark? By now you must know that I know when something's bothering you. Spill the beans, love. Let's hear it." "I don't know, Chloe. It does. I always resist everything. But there's this nagging thought in the back of my mind wondering if we're making a mistake by going to the festival today. We could have stayed home and worked on getting the place set up. That way we would avoid the potential for anything terrible happening." "I know what you're feeling, and I feel it too, but shit. We have to do this, Master. Destiny will be fine. I promise. It's hard to decide, but I know in my heart there's no danger anymore, and we're supposed to follow through on our plan. We stay here. I think that might change things somehow. You know, we saved our future, and now we need to live our lives. There's nothing to worry about." The shoulder of the two considered. "Never thought of it like that. So, you're saying if we don't continue towards the future we saved, we might not have saved anything at all?" She gazed at the ceiling and rubbed her chin. "You're so smart. That makes me feel a ton better. Thanks, girl." So miraculously, the perfect couple turned their attention towards their daughter as they're hearing a boss topple over and fall to the floor. "Oh, shit!" Chloe called out. "This, no!" I got a dog that bucks. Woof, 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 over here. And I've lost where the hell I was. Oh, there I was. The 2-year-old wasn't hurt, but she had gone into a boss marked bedroom and drawers that had incautiously been left in the living room. When the little girl turned towards her mom's, she had a pirate pass over her eye and a banana in her hand, with a toothy smile stretching from ear to end. The sense of urgency was extraneous, and the married couple put one arm around each other's lower back, sussing at the hips. Heartfelt grins shone on their faces, and a warm, adoring feeling of the solid love filled Mass's heart. She laid her head on the tall girl's shoulder and watched us as though little treasure had located a treasure all her own. Master and Chloe first bonded over the love of pirates when they were kids, and it was beautiful watching their daughter dig through the old grill. She would have quickly located her camera to capture the moment, but she was recording it in her mind and would never forget what they were experiencing. Chloe withdrew from the hug, walked over to the cute little girl with blonde hair and freckles, and scooped her up in her arms. "Arg!" she burst, spinning her daughter around in the air, then playfully tickling her on the neck with the tip of her nose. "Aye, ye found me buried treasure!" Destiny giggled and stormed around, blowing a large, chasing smoke from the brunette onlooker. Captain Bluebeard set the new member of her pirate crew back on the floor and headed towards the kitchen. "Got some more coffee, love?" Max waved her off and grabbed a freshly cleaned mug from the cabinet where it was placed moments before. She poured her soulmate a cup and suited it the way she liked. Waiting on and serving her perfect person filled the photographer's heart with a sense of loving devotion. Chloe had promised she wanted to make every moment special for Max, but the shorter of the two felt energized by the same popularity. "Damn, that's coffee bliss, love. You got that magic toast. Maybe you won't fall asleep tonight before I can give you a proper thank you and show you my magic toast." The older two wagged her eyebrows up and down and winked from behind the brim of her coffee mug. Max suddenly remembered the previous evening when she fell asleep while Chloe was in the shower. They planned on having some alone time together, barring interruptions from the 2-year-old, but that plan was snuffed out early because of a pair of heavy eyes. "Oh, damn! I really wanted to, babe. I was just exhausted from the moves. I feel terrible. Forgive me." "No worries, love. No need for forgiveness. When you make me wait, it just makes me want you even more." She crossed the front of the brunette's t-shirt near the collar and pulled her in for a deep kiss that lasted several seconds. The shirt was originally Chloe's and illustrated an image of Siwa holding a sword in the air above her head in a powerful stance. Max tasted coffee with a sprinkle of her partner's natural flavors, and she cherished every drop. She felt her lover's fingers run through her hair from front to back, and it made her shiver, leaving goosebumps all down her body. "You just have to let me play tonight." "Deal. As long as I can play too. You don't get to have all the fun." Max lost one eyebrow in an attempt to appear impulsive and maybe a little sassy, though she felt like she couldn't pull off the sassy part, quite like her beautiful wife. "Damn, love. You're making me want to wait until tonight. You're making me not want to wait until tonight. You still have no idea how hot you are, do you? Go jump in the shower before I check you and let's hit the festival before dinner. I have another sortie over here." She bobbed her head towards the toddler playing in the floor. "Gotta teach this scallywag the ways of the pilot." Max turned towards the bathroom and heard a voice call out from behind that stopped her in her steps. "Hey, Maximus! Happy 1 year!" Corey strode over and wrapped her arms around her wife from behind, seizing with a tightened embrace followed by a quick kiss on her cheek. Wait, I'm confused. When you? The sort of girl turned to face her favorite person who was looking back at her with enjoying grace. Yeah, Mass. You know, I love you and am like really obsessed with your hippie ass. Well, I've been tracking your night nails. You haven't had a bad dream for an entire year as of today. I didn't want to say anything until we got to this point, so I wouldn't jinx it. So, happy 1 year, dude. Oh, babe. Thank you. Max felt the deep waiting connection flowing strongly from within as their eyes lashed onto each other's souls. I fall more in love with you every day. You're so beautiful, inside and out, and so damn thoughtful. I would say I'm lucky, but we know how that phase would end. I didn't used to be thoughtful at all. Buck, 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 buck goes all yeah. You showed me an additional love that changed everything. You're my superhero. Supermass. I was hopefully in love with my best friend. Not superhero at all. Probably more like Super Lane. Do you remember the dumbass puns I used to say? Josh, those are embarrassing to think about now. I'm serial, Crow. My videos nowadays are basically Buddy barking, me coughing, and just not caring anymore. Joy. She said with emphasis on cereal, as a reminder of one of her old phrases. I'm such a better and more confident person because of you. Of course I remember, the tall blonde laughed. You're my beautiful, dorky, goopy best friend. Yin and yang sit, you know? I could be like Dr. Evil and tell you, you complete me. Chloe did her best impression of the Austin Powers character and the girls giggled. You make me as happy as a seagull with a french fry. Fuck! Why didn't I think of that line for my wedding vows? The duo laughed even harder, listening tracing an intentional snort from the younger adult. When the laughter died down, the girls shook hands before bumping fists. They had a perfect. He had perfected the handshake years ago, but recently started to pick it up again. Max left for the bathroom to take a shower so they could get ready for the festival. After she was clean and dressed in her favorite black and gray hoodie and blue jeans, her wife showered while she played with her Del Charver. The small family of three walked a few blocks from their home to the town trail. It wasn't very far, but Destiny insisted on walking instead of being carried on or riding in a stroller. She was the most beautiful mixture of both mass and coy, but also had a stubborn side to her that sometimes ended with a yelling and screaming meltdown. Both adults blamed the other for her malice and headstrong personality, and they were both correct. It was lunchtime when the trio arrived at the center of the town, and the 2-year-old kept asking for ice cream. Max promised they'd get her dessert after they eat a meal. When she noticed the blues and yellows of the Marion mobile truck, her mouth watered and she insisted they grab lunch from the Hawaiian Korean fat fusion restaurant on wheels. The toddler sailed chimsy fried rice for her brunette mother, while the taller of the group selected kibi beef tacos. They ate as they walked, enjoying the crafts and arts from the locals who had reserved booths in hopes of selling their items and promoting their businesses. Mass recently suggested they claim a spot for M3 to mingle and mix with the new company, but her wife was completely against it. After this morning's conversation about not changing things, it made sense why she was opposed. Plus, Mass didn't feel comfortable sitting around trying to sell her artwork in that matter. Wait, dog, wait. Wait a second. Look. Okay, there I am. She was used to earning her keep through gallery entries and orange sales, and M3 was doing really well. It wasn't a necessity for them like it was for most of the other businesses in attendance. After lunch, the little girl nearly pissed a fit, viciously desiring a scoop of chocolate ice cream in a waffle cone. It blew the photographer's mind seeing and hearing how quickly Destiny was going up. It seemed just like yesterday she came whipping into the world naked and afraid. Now she's using the words she memorized to understand, to explain exactly what she wanted. The call to creation and evolution of life, a miracle, seemed to be an understatement, but Mass knew no other way to describe the spectacular experience. Corey ordered the daughter a dessert and paid with the company credit card. As they walk away from the vendor, she joked about writing the pictures off as a expense through the photography business. Mass was beginning to feel suspiciously uncomfortable when she heard her partner's laughter, followed by a few words from Destiny. Mama, I love chocolate, the girl said with a brown ring around her lips and melty ice cream chips on the napkin that was wrapped around the base of the cone. The moment froze in the brunette's mind. Her heart raced at the memory of what she went through and a false reality that resembled this exact part in time. She hadn't realized she was in endured dream space setting when her soulmate was sought and killed. Even worse, she was still in a potential future where her partner's life was spared, but her precious 2-year-old was the one who took the bullet. The trouble having dogs, oh, joy. Despite being certain they fit the future, she was terrified. Corey reached down and weaved her fingers through her wife's, which must also help the girl feel more at ease. It's okay, love. Everything'll be fine. Trust me. Max nodded to confirm her understanding of the tall girl's words, but her eyes were still peeled open with frightfulness. 30 seconds went by, then 60. After 2 or 3 minutes and a good distance between the family of 3 and the spot of the potential incident, Max finally breathed a sigh of relief. Destiny and her strawberry blonde mom sat down to rest on a makeshift bench beside the main road entryway that had been blocked by orange wood cones before heading back home. Well, that felt more stressful than it should have been. The photograph had bubbled with a relief bounce in her voice. The bench was angled towards an old, oversized wooden pharmacy sign that added an interesting gesture to the background. Mouse pulled out her cell phone, leaned in, and took a group selfie, which she immediately set as her phone's home screen wallpaper. As she joined her family on the bench, she noticed a tingling sensation running up and down the back of her neck. She looked over at her partner, that had Destiny sitting on her lap and saw the blonde's hands behind her head, stressing the same spot with her fingertip. You feel that, babe? Max asked with a pretty good idea of what the girl's response would be. Yeah, it's like a pecky tingle on my neck. Both moms had a heightened sense of awareness as they scanned the area for signs of anything out of the ordinary. When Destiny was a newborn, she unknowingly opened a golden realm portal exactly 2 times. Since then, she hadn't used the power to the knowledge, only a handful of other times that she couldn't quite place. Master's experienced the hairs on her neck stand on end in the same way. I don't see a portal or anything strange going on. Maybe just a fluke, the flicker of Jolt suggested. Then from the corner of her eye she noticed a girl who had to be in her late teens up against a seat lamp looking into the listen. She was on the opposite side of a red brick half wall that separated the sidewalk from the business about 20 meters away. Look! She bobbed her head in a teen's listen, motioning for her partner to decide what she was seeing. I haven't seen her before. That's the girl from our wedding, Mass. Check out the red streak in her hair. What the F is she doing? Chloe was working on not cursing in front of their daughter since the girl repeated a choice word a couple of months back. It couldn't always be helped, but she was trying her best. Oh, damn! You're right! Upon noticing them looking back at her, the girl turned and briskly started walking away. I gotta find out who she is, Chloe. Max stood to her feet and looked down at her wife. Go! I stay with her. Chloe's chin was resting on Destiny's head. But be careful! I know how you get when you're confrontational. Don't do anything crazy, yeah? Oh, joy. Those fatally burst lips and Max turned to follow the teenage observer. She pushed through the crowd on the street and saw the girl making her way towards an alley beside the back entrance of a 2-story parking garage. The deck's front entrance was located on the adjacent street, so the brunette decided to run inside the garage to cut off her path. Exiting the parking area on the far side street near the back of the alleyway, Max turned the corner and nearly bumped into the stranger. Hey! She suddenly called out, Who are you, and why have you been spying on us? She took several steps backwards as to not crowd the girl and notice how beautiful and tall she was. Up close, the teen had to be nearly as tall as her wife, and her face was peppered with glorious freckles, mostly on her cheeks and nose. I thought you recognized me at your wedding yesterday. The girl secretly spoke. It's so good to see you here. The tall blonde looked cute standing with one arm by her side and the other angled upward across her back 30, hand resting onto her shoulder. Our wedding was 2 years ago, not yesterday. Max confusedly disagree. Anyway, you didn't answer me. Who are you? Frustration was taking over as her arms were tightly crossed in front of her chest. She could feel her eyebrows angled downward, anger beginning to boil on her mind. You really don't recognize me yet, Mom? Max relaxed every muscle in her face. Max mouth gaping over in disbelief. I'm your daughter, Destiny. Hoo. Oh. In future Destiny. Destiny from the future. Been going to the past, so that red hill gold? That mask saw in the shop when she chatted with Tom in town. It was Destiny. And Chon, one that was at the wedding. It was Destiny. And the one who's now in Tool is Destiny. It's revealed. It's out in the open. I don't have to keep it a secret anymore. I don't have to keep quiet. Joy. We got Destiny as a 2-year-old. And we got Destiny as a teenager now. Welcome to the fray. Welcome to the fray. Joy, 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 joy. Joy. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!